There's a few questions I've been thinking about lately. How to stay motivated, how to find inspiration. But the one question that I've been really thinking about is how to find your life's purpose. What a question. Hey YouTube, it's Christian from ByChristianJ Films here, and today we're going to talk about the question, how to find your life's purpose. Before we get into anything, just want to make a disclaimer to say that this is not a one-size-fits-all type of approach. There's going to be many ways to find your life's purpose, and I suppose it'll be subject to the person that you are, your life's experiences as well. But I just want to dive into this topic just a bit. I've come across a few talks and inspirational speeches, and some I've engaged with and some I have not engaged with as much. But it's something that doesn't quite sit with me or just within myself, and that's how can I rely on an external source to tell me how to find my life's purpose? Then brings me to another question. Am I equipped with the tools to find my life's purpose? Suppose it starts with just growing up in the UK. You're told to go to school, get a job, get a degree, get a family, get married, raise said family, and then pass on your teachings. When you think about it that way, life is pretty short, and it doesn't sound like there's much room for me. So that left me thinking, how do I find out and know what I want for myself? With everything that life has to offer, how do I find me? Then I thought about a situation in my, say, past life where I really did not recognize myself. I'll look in the mirror and think, who's this guy? Oddly, it was not until I was out of the situation where a few of my friends have said, Christian, it's nice to have you back. And that really made me think, like, where did I go? So just to paint a picture, I was in a relationship, wildly imbalanced, and when it came crashing down magnificently, I was left there thinking, who is this person in the mirror? That sounds like a song. Who's this person in the mirror? And thinking about it now, honestly, I couldn't tell you who that person was. It wasn't until I had some alone time, and I really mean just alone time, no distractions, no phone, no TV, no nothing, just myself, was I able to do a bit of, call it soul searching. It was during this time I began to have an inner dialogue with myself and started to really ask myself the kind of questions that you ask a person when you're beginning to find out about them. So the questions I asked myself before was things like, what happens now? Where do I go from here? What happens next? Then I started to ask less general questions like, who is Christian? What did he like to do before this relationship? What type of things does he enjoy? What doesn't he enjoy? Where does he like to eat? What does he like to eat? Does he drink? How much does he drink? Does he feel the same way about the things that he did then, now? And looking back on it now, it was a blessing in disguise. Yes, it's going to be difficult to see the wood through the trees when you're going through a situation, and I'm not encouraging you to go out there and start sabotaging relationships. Not that it was. I feel like I'm going a bit too much into detail about this one. It is what it is. You guys are cool. You're forgiven. I love you guys. I'm not encouraging you to go out there and start sabotaging relationships so that you can start to have these like dialogues with yourself. Whether you're in a relationship or not, you can still find time to keep in touch with who you are. Same way that you were interested in finding out how to get to know who your current partner is, or again, if there is someone that you are interested in, the same questions that you'd ask them, ask yourself. Spending time with yourself is exactly that. Not spending your time alone doing an activity like watching TV. No, you're spending time with the TV. You're not spending time with yourself. You're spending time doing an activity. You're spending time being distracted, whether consciously or subconsciously, which is taking that attention away from you spending time with yourself. It's okay to be by yourself. It's okay to do things by yourself as well, and that's probably something that society has, ingrained within us. Like, it's not cool. It's not cool to do stuff by yourself. It's not cool to go to the cinema by yourself. It's not cool to do anything solo dolo. So check this math out. If you were to spend 5 minutes just by yourself every day, 35 minutes in a week? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just had to do the quick math and double check. If you're like me and you still have to count on your fingers, Give me a, actually no, don't give me a thumbs up. Don't give me a comment. Say, Christian, do better. I digress. So that's 35 minutes a week that you're spending with yourself, asking yourself those questions. What am I passionate about now? What do I like? What are my dislikes? What am I good at? Who do I like spending my time with? What do I like to talk about? What interests me? What hobbies do I have? If I don't have any hobbies, how do I find out what hobbies are out there? Can I do these hobbies by myself? There's a lot of questions that we can ask ourselves if we allow ourselves to quieten the noise that's surrounding us and we just take the time to be. I think we'll be able to get a lot closer to finding out who we are without putting much effort into it. So once you're able to answer those questions, then you can start to dive into the deeper questions, like how do I want to be remembered when I pass on? That's definitely a question that sits with me. And even just thinking about it, there's more questions that's now surfaced. Like, how do I want to be remembered for how I treated people? What would people say about me and how I treated them? That's probably a big one as well. Whew. This one's a big one. The next time a friend calls you up and says, you know, hey, do you want to hang out for, say, 2 hours, or do you want to jump on a call for half an hour? Think about how many 5 minutes goes into that half an hour. That's 6 days for 5 minutes you can spend catching up with yourself and finding out your likes, your dislikes, in the same time that you're spending the half an hour with your friend talking about whatever it is that you talk about. So if you do this and you still are no closer to finding your life purpose, then I'd encourage you to reevaluate your surroundings. By this, I mean, what is it that you are doing for yourself or not doing that could help you broaden your horizons and your life experiences? I know that there are going to be some of us with the crippling anxiety of wanting or even thinking about doing things alone. But I gotta tell you, once you do it, it's not that bad. Appreciate it takes a while to build up the resilience to combat these negative thoughts, but once you get to a place where you work up the courage to just go out there and start experiencing new things, you start to experience new things. If you want to go check out the latest exhibition, cool. Go check out the latest exhibition. If you want to go to the cinema and check out the latest movie, cool. You can do that too. Just try and make sure it's between the hours of like 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. when it's not too busy. You know, there's levels to this. There's levels. I'm still trying to work my way up to the prime time showing, you know, like the 5:30 p.m. That's probably the latest I'll go at the moment. But one day, I'll make it to the Friday night showing. If you could feel how my heart just sunk, saying Friday night, prime time, me one, going into the cinema by myself. I am going to do it, and I would say that I'd love to record it for you guys, but I'm pretty sure there's maybe like a very small law about copyright infringement and recording in the cinema, so I will still document it and just let you know how it went. My heart right now, I'm actually getting a bit hot. If you want to travel solo as well, cool, go and travel solo. There's actually nothing more liberating than going through airport security or even just traveling to the airport, one man up, doing what you want and taking it in your own stride. It's just so peaceful. You've also made yourself a bit more interesting. Not to say that you was dull in the first place, but you've now got another talking point if you're in a conversation. Oh, have you traveled solo? Well, yes, actually I have. Oh, really? How did that go? Well, I can tell you it went like this, X, Y, and Z, and I've done this and I've done that. Oh, have you ever been to the cinema by yourself? What else have you done by yourself? Oh, I've done this. Oh, brilliant. What I'm getting at with this point as well is you've now gone and crossed the border or a barrier that very few people go. You've now built up a resilience to tackling things by yourself. You may have had a blast going on these excursions, you may not have, but guess what? You're a bit closer to finding out what it is that you do like and what you don't like. You might actually find something that you're truly passionate about. You might find a love for helping people in poverty-stricken countries because you've now traveled solo. You might find a love for filmmaking because you've gone to see quite a few movies and you're really interested in this, and now you might not know where to find people that are similar minded to you, so you go set up an online community and invite people to come. You never know where these things will take you or could potentially take you, but it all starts somewhere. Take baby steps, have those fact-finding conversations, journal. You never know who you might find. and that's the same way you can start having the same dialogue.